Hi, everyone. Good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're joining us in the country. My name is Roy, and I'm here to give you a quick overview of CampCon, our new summer camp. Quick agenda here. We're going to do intros real quickly, talk about CampCon, the details, kind of from the 30,000-foot view all the way down to the ground level view. Talk a little bit about these new courses or get ready for grade level courses, and then have some time for questions. We're going to do all this in about 30 minutes. First, some intros. As I mentioned, my name is Roy. I am on the district partnership team at Khan Academy. I'm joined by my colleague, Patty Sukulanda. She is also my teammate on the district partnership team. And Patty's going to be kind of moderating your questions, and we'll reference them and go through them during the Q&A session. Lauren Kwan is on our marketing team. She does a lot of our parent marketing, so it's great to have Lauren here. She's also going to be monitoring questions, so feel free to type those in throughout the next 15 minutes. We'll get to them either in the chat or as we do the Q&A a little bit later. And please note that this webinar will be recorded and sent to you after the session. You'll also see that there is a handout, a one-pager that just has some details on CampCon right on your GoToWebinar dashboard there. It's titled CampCon Article Webinar. That's who we are. And we don't have time to do intros for every single person in here, but we have been talking with and hearing from parents throughout the school year, particularly in the spring. And what we heard from them was this particular school year was surprising, it was unexpected, it was overwhelming, it was hectic, and really it was just a lot. And recognizing all those things that the school year was, we want to first thank you, parents, for being a caregiver and a teacher, a coach for your children, a juggler really of all the different responsibilities you have, and really just for being there for your family, for your children. And it was with that in mind that we started CampCon, which is our real first summer camp that we're doing virtually, of course. And we were trying to think of what could be a way that we could prepare students for math next year, do some things that might help to build their confidence, and also do it in a fun way that recognizes, hey, it's still summer vacation, even though this past school year was all these different things that we didn't really expect. We want to make sure that CampCon does prepare students for math and build their confidence, and also do it in a way that's kind of flexible for parents and for children too. That's kind of like the 30,000-foot view of what CampCon is. I'm going to just go a little bit lower to say like the 15,000-foot view. Give some details on CampCon. So CampCon runs from June 22nd, this Monday. We just launched. You might have received an email from us about it actually. And it'll go all the way to August 28th. So a total of 10 weeks. And it's intended for students entering grades 3 through 12 this fall. And just like I mentioned before, we want to make this flexible for folks so participants can join and stay whenever and for however long. And we also want to make this accessible for everyone. So we've made sure that it's free for everyone too. Down below, you'll see kind of our four like Thinky Pinkies. These are like our mascot for CampCon. And here are the ingredients of CampCon. So one is the get ready for math courses, get ready for grade level courses. These are our math courses that we're going to go into in a little bit more detail. In addition, CampCon is going to deliver some strategies for real self-driven learning. So thinking about how children, students can really be kind of owners of their own learning and really drive their own learning. In part, we want to make sure that, the parents aren't being asked to do too much, because we know you have done so much throughout this school year. And then also, like I mentioned, we want to make sure that CampCon gives suggestions for fun and motivational things that you and your children can do over the summer. And we think if we can combine all those three things together, that's going to lead to sustained learning, not just this summer, but in years ahead. All right, so how it works, I'm going to go a little bit more detail now. I already mentioned this Monday, you all should have received an email just announcing CampCon. And we sent that email to all our parents in the US, all learners over the age of 13, and all our US math teachers too. From now until August 28th, over that period of the next 9 weeks, we're going to give weekly guidance where learners can progress on those Get Ready courses that we're going to go into and receive some weekly recommendations via email too. And included in that weekly guidance is just some tips and opportunities to really recognize and reflect on progress, giving some ideas for how you might celebrate the effort your children are putting in, the learnings that they might have throughout the year. And again, making sure we have some time for fun too. That's a real quick overview. If you have any additional questions, I'm going to refer you back to that one pager that's in your handouts and this website on the bottom here, con.co/campcon2020. And we're also on social under the hashtag CampCon2020. All right, I mentioned the weekly recommendations and suggestions that we're sending out. Here's a rough outline of what it looks like. Each of our weekly emails will have 5 suggestions along kind of 3 different topics. Before I get into that, I want to mention that all our messages are available in Spanish. And then those 3 topics are 1, learning goals for your Get Ready for Grade Level courses. Second topic is learning tips, and they can be learning tips about how to use Khan Academy. How might you share progress with a teacher or with an adult? Or some reflection prompts about how do you best learn? What are some things that you really like doing in a classroom? And then the third topic are these fun and motivational activities. And these are going to be taken from our own content library. So for instance, one of the things that we're going to suggest is our Pixar in a Box content, which is going to be a set of courses and activities that students can really do to kind of hone in on their imagination. And then we're also going to take some fun and motivational activities from some of our partner organizations too, who have great ideas for how do you spend the summer, and how do you spend the summer not just in front of a screen, but also outside and with friends and with family. For each of these topics, we're going to have clickable videos on various weeks where you can just write directly in the email, view a video, or go to a partner resource. Now, to get these emails, there's no sign up. You don't need to do anything other than have a Khan Academy account if you're a parent. And we'll also be sending a similar but slightly differently worded email to learners who have spent any time on our Get Ready for Math courses. All right, I feel like I've been talking up these Get Ready for Grade Level courses quite a bit, and I want to spend the next few minutes just highlighting what those are. So our Get Ready for Math courses are newly created math courses. They were created or curated in part because we heard from parents, we heard from teachers who said, hey, what can we do, or what can our students or children do between now and whenever school reopens that's going to make sure that they're ready to learn, that they're ready to hit the ground running when school year 2021 begins. What we did was go back to all of our previous or existing math courses, and we just pulled the content and the skills that we think are most important for a student to be successful in the math class next year. So if you have a child going into 4th grade, for instance, you would take the Get Ready for 4th grade level course. And in that Get Ready for 4th grade level course, you're going to see skills that may be from 3rd grade, from 2nd grade, the real kind of foundational skills that we find to be important so that they can enter 4th grade really confident and knowledgeable to be successful in their 4th grade math class. I'm going to now show you just a few screenshots of how you get to the Get Ready for Grade Level courses. First thing you want to do is get onto our website, khanacademy.org. Here you can either log in, or if you don't have a Khan Academy account yet, you can sign up, and it's pretty easy. You can do so with your Google account, for instance, or you can create a new username and password. Once you're in the Khan Academy site, and we're looking at this from kind of a student perspective, so this is what your child might see, they can, on the top left corner, go to courses, and from there, click that drop down, and you can see on the bottom right of my slide here, there's going to be a list of the entire Khan Academy library, and this Math Get Ready courses that'll have a green new button to let you know will show up, and then just pick the grade level that your child will be entering in the fall. You can do another way you can get to the Get Ready for grade level courses is just by typing in or clicking on this link directly, and we'll be making these slides available too after the webinar. Once you click into a Get Ready course, you're going to see a pop-up that says show what you know, and there's going to be an option to start a course challenge. Now, we recommend that students or children start with the course challenge because it's going to take them through a set of skills where they can demonstrate what they know and what they might just brush up on a little bit. And that course challenge can also guide students on what they should be doing or what they might want to focus their time on. Again, what they might want to brush up on after taking the course challenge. And as your children are working through the Get Ready course, you and they can track how they're doing by the number of mastery points that they earn on the top left-hand corner. We suggest usage of increasing progress towards mastery by 5 to 10 percentage points each week. As you see right here on the screenshot, this student has made about 20% of progress through the entire Get Ready for 5th grade course. We imagine 5 to 10 percentage points each week. CampCon is 10 weeks. By the end of 10 weeks, if your child has followed the weekly suggestion, they hopefully will be at 100% completion or getting pretty close to it. All right, delivered a lot of information pretty quickly here. And we're going to just run down some FAQs, some questions that we've also heard from parents. So one, we hear a question, is CampCon right for my child? As we mentioned before, CampCon is a free resource for students entering grades 3 through 12. And it's a way to brush up on math, and it's also a way to look for fun and motivational activities throughout the summer. We're hoping it's a low lift, and we're also hoping it's flexible. So if parents want to join us for the whole 10 weeks, great. If they want to join us for 5 weeks or 3 weeks, that's totally fine too. What age is CampCon for? We are targeting CampCon for learners entering grades 3 through 12 because that's where our Get Ready for grade level courses are in math. Now, younger students can also join us for CampCon Kids beginning July 6th. And these are for students who are ages 2 through 7. Again, younger kids who might want to have that exposure to learning activities and fun activities this summer. Third question we've heard is, what do I have to do to sign up and participate? Really, signing up for a Khan Academy is most of what you need to do as a parent. Now, your child will get these weekly notifications with suggestions and recommendations once they do any work on our Get Ready courses. And then speaking of Get Ready courses, the last question is, which Get Ready course should my child sign up for? We would suggest that children start with a grade level that they're entering. Now, if your child is exceptional at math or is really doing some advanced math, they might go to a higher grade. Or similarly, if they are struggling a little bit in math, we might recommend going into a lower grade. But broadly, generally speaking, we would say the grade level course that they should start with on the Get Ready is the one that'll be entering in the fall. All right, so we've done a few FAQs. And so now we're going to turn it over to questions. And this is where I'm going to talk with Patty a little bit. And she's going to share some of the questions. Hopefully, we'll be able to answer them here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Roy, for sharing that wonderful information with us. And Just again, my name is Patty here. I get the pleasure to be on the district partnerships team with Roy. And so as part of the information that Roy just shared with us, we also want to make sure we're grabbing any of the questions you might have. And so throughout the question area, I also saw people were asking, where can I get the slides? Where can I look at the handout? And potentially, is this a webinar that's going to be recorded and shared with us? So the answer to all those is yes. You will receive both the deck, so slide deck or handout, and you'll also receive a recording of the webinar via email after our session. And then if you are in your GoToWebinar screen, there should be a little tab that says handouts, and that tab will have a PDF called CampCon article webinar. So if you click on that, you'll then be able to see all the information that Roy shared as well. So this would be a great time if you want to add some pressing questions that came up for you. I can see a lot of folks are adding questions as well. And we're going to start out with one that I also noticed was pretty common, Roy. And it's specifically coming to us from Carrie. And Carrie has actually already started using CampCon this week. And so she's using it with her two kiddos. One of them is in 5th grade, 7th grade, and they're enjoying it. And they're wondering a little bit about what the pace should be for a student to kind of move through the content. So she's saying, she wasn't really sure what time to aim for. Is there a recommendation or a time that students should spend weekly on CampCon?
Yeah, great question, Carrie, and thanks for getting started on the Get Ready courses. And hope your girls are enjoying the courses. We recommend probably about 2 or 3 hours per week on the Get Ready for Grade Level courses. Now you can split those out, an hour a day for 2 days, or you can say, I'm going to do 30 minutes or 45 minutes a day for, 4 or 5 days. That's totally up to you. Again, we want this to be as flexible as possible given your schedules. And then in addition to the hours spent per week, we also recommend that students make about 5 to 10 percentage point increase in their mastery progress.
Awesome, thank you. I think that will be really helpful for parents as they're nudging and encouraging students to work through their Get Ready for Grade Level courses. So a little bit more on the logistics, Roy, just to make sure parents are really clear and anyone who's joining us on the line. Suture wants to know, is CampCon limited to math?
Yeah, great question. So CampCon, the work that students will be going through is limited to the Get Ready for Grade Level courses, which are in math. At the same time, we're hoping that CampCon is more than just math. We're hoping it's an opportunity for students to build confidence. It's an opportunity for students to have a little bit of fun because it is summer. So we're going to be infusing those suggestions for progressing in math on those Get Ready for Grade Level courses, along with, say, some reflection prompts that ask students to really think about, how do I learn best? What do I do when I find myself struggling with learning something? How do I feel when I finally do learn something that's really challenging? So some of those learning reflections and prompts that's going to build their confidence and awareness as a learner, and then also some fun activities like getting outside and going on nature walks, or doing virtual tours through museums that are offering these great opportunities, or looking through some of our content like Pixar in a Box or Imagineering in a Box. That's really about creativity.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think it's great to make sure there's a holistic kind of set of opportunities for students. Awesome. So the next question comes to us from Jeffrey, and Jeffrey wants to get super clear. Do parents or students pick the course level? And can they switch if needed?
Great question, Jeffrey. Students will initially pick the course level, though we would ask that parents are just sitting alongside their child as they pick the course level. We do recommend that students at least start with the grade level that they're going to be entering in the fall. And your second question, they can always switch if they want. They can always click into other classes, into other Get Ready for Grade Level courses, depending on whether they find the material too challenging or too easy.
Great. I think that flexibility is key for students and for parents as well. So let's switch the view a little bit and think more about the student themselves who's going to be working on this content. And so when we think about the design of the courses, are they, getting students to catch up on their current grade level? And this question is specifically from Yinju. So just want to be clear, Jinju, we're answering your question. Are the Get Ready classes designed to help students catch up to their current grade level, or can they also be used for advanced learners? And how could they be used for advanced learners?
Yep. Again, another great question. The creation of the Get Ready courses was more to get students caught up. So more to your first question. We want to make sure, again, that if you do the Get Ready for, let's say, 5th grade course, you're going to enter 5th grade ready to learn the 5th grade math. For advanced learners, will they be good? I think the Get Ready courses could potentially be good courses for advanced learners too. And I'm thinking particularly for, if we have some middle school students, middle school kind of mathematicians who are really kind of chopping at the bit to know a little bit about high school math, or to think, I wonder how well I would do in algebra. They could take those high school level courses just to get a sense of what they would need to be successful in those courses. So, short answer is for advanced learners, I would recommend even going on to grade levels above where the student is going to be entering in the fall.
That's great. That's a great suggestion. And as we're thinking about students potentially looking or reviewing content and potentially getting stuck, right? We know that that happens, and that's okay when you're learning math. So how could kids seek help? And this is a question from Napur, who wants to know, or references that you mentioned, Roy, that there's going to be an option to seek guidance. So how could students get help?
Yep, great question, Napur. In each of our exercises in Khan Academy, there are videos students can watch that gives them kind of a teaching of what the concept is. And in addition, there are hints that will give students kind of step-by-step how you solve this problem. We always recommend that students watch the video first, because that's broadly just about the concept. And we've also seen some students just watch the videos before they even start on the problems. In addition to the videos, if a student is really stuck, they can always just click the hint under each question, and the hint will be a step-by-step solving of that particular question the student is seeing. And we think this is a great way for students to, again, take a little bit of ownership or more ownership in their learning. And also, we hope this is a way where a student isn't constantly going to be asking you, the parent, for help every time they might be stuck.
That's really helpful. And a similar question from Deanna, related to that, right? Like, do parents need to be hands-on helping, or is it fairly simple for kids to navigate on their own? So maybe just sharing a little bit more about how kids can navigate on their own.
Yeah, great question. The question of whether or how much parents should be hands-on, we leave it totally up to the parent. Again, we want Camp Khan and our courses to be pretty flexible and really to promote kind of self-driven learning, but from the student. So for a student, when they get on the Khan Academy, we do recommend starting with that course challenge. And then the exercises, we always recommend that student kind of follow a blue button. So there's kind of a blue start button or a blue continue button. And once you click on those, then students will get underway on their exercises. And then once in their exercises, they can start looking at those videos and viewing those hints. And then if they're stuck, we can recommend that they ask maybe an older sibling, or they ask another adult in their household, and then eventually we might ask that they reach out to the parent.
I think that's great scaffolding. I think very similar to the way teachers have the 3 before me rule sometimes in the classroom. So maybe parents, caregivers out there can do the 3 before me, and the first one can definitely be Khan and the resources that you mentioned, Roy.
Yeah.
Similar to that, I think as part of being a parent, Talasi asks, how do we as parents see the progress of our students and what they're learning?
Yep, that's a great question. A couple ways you can do this. One is to just have the child show you what they're working on and how much progress they're making. Another way, and we're going to send this in an upcoming email, is to join your student's account and not watch, I guess, and see the progress on the Get Ready for Grade Level course. So this is going to require the parent to add the child's account and then for the child to approve the parent. So there's going to be a little bit of back and forth so that this parent can see what the child is working on and how they're doing on it. And we're going to send those instructions out in an upcoming email.
Great, that'll be really, really helpful. We have another question from Kimberly asking, can my child use their district Khan Academy account, or do they have to create a new student account?
Yeah, students can use existing accounts and just go and start working on their Get Ready course. They don't need to create a new account for CampCon.
That's great, that's very helpful. We have now a question from April. And we probably have room for a couple more, so for sure, please keep asking your questions. This is from April, who says, do you have any example of the fun activities that go in conjunction with the Get Ready courses? Who makes the clickable videos?
Yeah, great question. So like I mentioned, the fun activities will be coming some from our content library. So I mentioned our Pixar in a box, our Imagineering in a box. And those are kind of videos and activities that are meant to spark children's imagination. We also have content from our growth mindset library, for instance, which is really meant to explain the brain science behind getting smarter. So we see those as more kind of motivational content. So that's one side of that, of the fun and motivational activities. They're going to come from us. Another part of the answer is from our partner organizations. So we'll be partnering with schools like Wide Open Schools that have great suggestions and activities on things families can do outdoors during the summer. For instance, taking a nature walk. We'll work with other organizations about virtual tours that students can take during the summer. So those are just some examples of what we'll be including in the fun activity section of our weekly emails.
That's really helpful. Great. We have another question from Louise. Louise says, I'm a grandma helping my grandson. We're at different locations. Any suggestions?
Thanks, Louise, and thanks for thinking about your grandson, even though he may not be right there with you. Now, our suggestion is to pass along the article that's in this webinar, that handout, and there'll be some directions there for getting started, or to have them get on Khan Academy, and there are links to sites, specifically the Camp Khan details, that any student, once they get on the website, they'll have directions there, and then they can get started just by following directions on our site.
Wonderful. And then I think this will be our last question, Roy, which came up a little bit with some other participants. So this is specifically from Lim and a couple others. I would like to know how the Get Ready courses are different than the other grade level courses you already have out there.
Yep. Thanks for that question, Lim. And I apologize for not being clear about this during the webinar. The Get Ready courses, let's say, and our Get Ready for 5th grade course level, it's actually pulling from our math courses, our regular grade level courses in 4th grade, in 3rd grade, and 2nd grade. So the Get Ready for 5th grade course is actually containing skills and content from grade levels below 5th grade that are meant or that have been identified as the most crucial, most important things to know before you start 5th grade. So in other words, the difference between the Get Ready for 5th grade course content and the 5th grade course content is the 5th grade course content is going to be what your child learns in the fall. The Get Ready for 5th grade course content is going to be the content that's going to prepare your child to be successful to learn 5th grade math in the fall. So I hope that distinction was helpful.
Yeah, I think that will be really helpful to a lot of folks. And I think, Roy, that'll be it for our questions. So if you want to wrap us up.
Great. Thanks very much again for all of your time. I'm going to we will send out these slides, and in addition, please visit our website and you will get an email with the resources here and a survey link. So please fill out the survey link. That will help us to improve our webinars and also continue to hear from you all. So thanks very much.